welcome to Kimber's Rockabilly Review, where I take what I do on the radio show and bring it to TV just for you. Today is a great episode. I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this one for quite a while. We have a very special guest all the way from New York. Her name is Lara Hope from Lara Hope and the Art Tones. Help me give her a big old welcome. Hey, Lara.
Hey, Kimber, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being on. I'm super excited. I really mean it when I say I've been excited and waiting for this show for us to tape this, because I've been a big fan of yours for a couple of years now. And this is the first time we've actually got to talk. So I'm really I'm thrilled.
I appreciate it. I feel like I know you because I follow you online, follow the radio show. I see your face all the time.
I feel the same way. I think you and I crossed paths back here in Memphis in about 2017, I believe, when you were here for the Ameripolitan Awards, where you won for Female Rockabilly Artist of the Year. Congratulations. So tell me, we had a little bit of a lag there for just a second. Tell me what it was like to win the Ameripolitan Awards, because I've been there. I've seen it face to face. It must have been a huge thrill and an honor for you to win that award.
Definitely one of the best nights of my life, hands down. We'll never forget it. And it's cool how it all started, because we're in New York, but we tour a lot. So there had been a year where I think we just happened to be touring in Austin at the same time as the Ameripolitan Awards, not even realizing it at the time. But once we were in town, that was the buzz. Everyone was talking Ameripolitan. So I kind of, knew a little bit about it. And then we were up in Albany, New York, and we opened for Dale Watson at this point, probably about 5 years ago. And Dale said to me, you should really get involved in the Ameripolitan Awards. You'd be great. And I said, I know about them. How do I do it? And he just told me, about the process of getting nominated, etc. And so that year I was like, all right, yeah, if Dale says we should do it, let's do it. So we went for it. And then in 2016, I was nominated, but didn't win. But that's fine, because just going and the networking and the experience of it is so great and worthwhile. Then the next year went back, knew what to expect. And it's such a show. It's such an elaborate, red carpet rides and big shuttle rides with all the other musicians and friends of, family of, and this was when it was still in Austin, the Paramount Theater, just this beautiful theater surrounded by your musical heroes. I was nervous, you want to win, but you don't want to put too much weight on it, because it's all about the experience, and you got to make your speech, and the whole thing quite unforgettable.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, Dale Watson is amazing, and what he's doing for Ameripolitan music overall is great. And so to have you as a part of that family is a great honor for sure. And I was reading up on you. I've got some notes here because I was just like, dang, I didn't realize. Before I tell everybody some of your awards and what you've done, just tell everybody a little bit about your band, how you got started, and where you're from, because a lot of people associate me with Memphis, but I have so many artist friends from around the world. So give everybody a little background about you.
Sure. So we live in the city of Kingston, New York, which is right by Woodstock. It's about 20 minutes from Woodstock and about 90 minutes north of New York City. I moved up to this part of the state to go to college in the town of New Paltz, and kind of just fell in love with the area. And it really is a wonderful place. There's a lot of beauty here. New York is so big. I think people think New York and they just think the city, but New York is such a big state, and it's so expansive. And, we live surrounded by mountains and valleys and swimming holes, and it's really quite nice. So yeah, I played music out since I moved here for college. That's when I started my first band, and I kind of got started playing more punk rock, hard rock kind of stuff. And then I guess it was about 12 or 13 years ago at this point, I got invited to sing for a startup rockabilly band, a little bit more traditional than the stuff we do now, called Lara Hope and the Champ Tones. And that was just a great experience. I felt like I really was finding my voice a little bit more than I had in the genres I was playing previously. And then in 2012, I met my now husband, bass player. His band at the time, or they still play sometimes, is the Arkhams. They're more of a psychobilly outfit. And when the Champtones kind of disbanded, we joined forces, the Champtones, the Arkhams, and called it the Arctones. And so we've been, kind of hitting the ground running ever since 2012, just gigging full time, touring a lot, writing music, recording albums, and just trying to do the thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what's so fun for me is when I find out about a new band, of course, I go and I listen to all their music. And I went back. You have an album from 2014, your first one, I believe, called Luck Maker. Is that correct? And so I started there and I worked my way up. And what's really exciting is you've got a new album you're debuting this month. I believe it's coming out soon, right?
Yep, comes out June 25th.
Wonderful. And that one is called Here to Tell the Tale. Now, was that influenced in any way by this past year and what we all went through?
Well, you'd think it was, but we actually recorded it right before the pandemic hit in January of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think that a lot of the songs and the theme of the album only have been driven home and make more sense after having gone through this past year. A lot of the songs, there's kind of a running theme about, getting out and, not living so virtually and actually getting out and doing it, seeing live music, taking adventures, making memories, firsthand, rather than, from other people's experiences or through television or through Facebook or whatever, just about really like getting out, living your life, having your own tale to tell. And I think after this past year of people being stuck inside and not being able to do all that we all kind of feel like we need to make up for lost time. And I'm hoping, and I do think that, we're all going to really get back out there and have realized what we missed and how important the arts are to just our sanity and well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had a lot going on right as the pandemic hit. Y'all had bought a house and we're moving into it. And I was following your story because I just was so excited for you guys. And you got moved in, and so you had a lot of time to be at home, and you started doing things at home. You're doing gardening. You're doing things. I believe now. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were doing something with real estate as well in between all of this.
I'm just getting started. I spent some of the time during the pandemic months. I took the class. It was 3-month virtual class. I just got my license, and I am about to start embarking on that any day now, really. Things kind of just got pushed back a little bit, but I'm just kind of looking for something. Real estate seems like a thing that I can do, part-time, work on my own schedule and still be able to tour and travel. But, we've done music full-time for the past 10 years, and it's wonderful, but it's stressful when, you have to rely on just gigs to pay all your bills. And it also makes sure that we have to play and we have to tour so much. And one of the things I realized this past year was just that, I just want to do everything in a little more moderation. I think I just need to find a little more balance in my life. So if, instead of touring 5 months a year, we toured 3 months a year, so I can have a little more time to put into my local community. I'm just looking to find a little more balance, and I'm hoping selling real estate here and there can just, make our shows more about the quality and less about the quantity.
Right. Well, and you'll still have flexibility, I think. And I think that's a great career to do. I know a lot of artists that get into real estate. So I think that's a great thing for you guys. You've toured with everybody. I took notes. I don't know how much that's going to show up, but I took tons of notes because I was like, who all has she played with? I'm just going to name a couple. Brian Setzer Orchestra. Now that one, I remember watching you do that tour and you would post, and I was like, that has to be the most amazing lifestyle right now. What was that like?
Like what you just said, that really was the best. I mean, it was like a taste of the dream, it was really a dream come true, kind of had to wake up and pinch myself every day, playing these amazing, just historic theaters, these beautiful places that I had never been to, like the Fox Theater in Detroit and the Music Hall in Philadelphia, like these places that you just go in and your jaw just drops and you hear about the people that have played on these stages before you. Like I'm talking Etta James, Frank Sinatra, Elvis, everybody. And the Ryman, that was like that was number one. I'd have to
Yeah.
say on that tour.
Yeah.
Just to think, like, just to be able to follow in these footsteps, it was just so humbling and incredible. And to watch the show with Brian and the orchestra. I mean, they're a 30-piece orchestra of the best musicians around, putting on this extravaganza with an entire set, all these props, all these costumes. It was so much fun to watch every night.
Well, it had to have been just a dream come true. And you toured 6 weeks with him. It was a national tour, but you've also toured in Europe, across Europe, and I believe I'd seen some of that. You've toured with the Blasters, Reverend Horton Heat. What was that like with Reverend Horton Heat? Because I've met him. He is just wow.
Yeah, that was like an East Coast and we went a little bit into the Midwest. It was about 2 weeks. Yeah, that was a great time too, playing like packed mid-level clubs, getting to play for, making new fans, playing for different people we hadn't played for before. They also, put on a great show, and they had Big Sandy with them on that tour as kind of a guest. So he would come out halfway through the show, and then the Revs band would back up Big Sandy, and then they would do a few songs together. So that was really fun also. And yeah, it was a treat. It was great. And the Rev, he's quite the storyteller. So every night it was like, 80% music and 20% of him just like telling all sorts of wild stories, the things he's been through and the things he's seen. And that was fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you started in music, who were some of your influences that you kind of drew off of to do what you do?
Well, when I first started playing, like I mentioned, earlier in this interview, I was more originally my first band was kind of more, I'd almost call it like pop rock or indie rock in college, and then my next band was a little bit heavier. But back then, like the people that I was really listening to when I first started writing music was like Yeah and Fiona Apple and the Violent Femmes and stuff like that. That's what I was, listening to a lot in my like teens and early 20s. And then, it was like as time progressed and I joined a rockabilly band that, I mean, I always loved, folks like Dolly Parton, of course, and Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Richie Valens. But, it wasn't until my early 20s that I really started to dive deeper into roots music. And then my influences, changed as I started to write more roots-based rock.
Wow. Well, I want to give everybody a taste of how you sound. I want to show them a video. It's off of your second album, which I happen to have right here, and I played it all morning. I've played it many times. It's Love You to Life, and that is the song in the video we're going to play. Do you mind if we play that so everybody can see it?
Go for it. Thanks.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
Love you more than I did yesterday. I love you more than I did yesterday. 'Cause yesterday you kinda pissed me off. I need you now more than I needed you then. Needed you then more than I needed you then. I need you now more than I needed you then. 'Cause yesterday you kinda pissed me off. Because you are an emotional roller coaster. And I am told enough to ride. You say that you love me
Okay, couple things about that music video. For one, every time I hear that song, I go around my house singing that all day long, and the animals are like, "Please stop." And you're gonna have to teach me how to do that brap bap 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 thing you do because I can't trill my R's. I love that. I try to do that all day, and I want to know where you got the big flamingo pool thing because I need that.
That was filmed actually at our friend's house. They our friend Mark, he actually carved all those tikis that the guy whose house it was. He did all that
Oh
himself.
my gosh.
We've been at a pool party at their house, and I always said to them, "You guys, one day we have to shoot a music video here because your space is just so fantastic." And I think that pool float was theirs.
Oh my gosh, I love that song. So when you sent me that video for the show today, I was like, I'm so happy we're playing that one because I really do. I sing that all the time. This is what that album looks like. And is this still available? Can people still get this one?
Yep, you can get them. There's not a ton in red, actually. You have one of the special ones. They're mostly black, but there's a few red and I think a few yellow and green left. But yeah, they're available on our website, which is larahope.net.
Okay, I wanted to make sure while I was showing it because I know that had been out for a couple of years, and like we said, we're working on a new one, and it's coming out now. I would love to be able to get a hold of some of that music to put on the show, on the radio show, because we do play your music all the time on Walking in Memphis with Kimber. So whatever I need to do to get with you to get that, I would love to be able to get that for sure.
Have I not sent it to you already? I thought I did.
I don't think so, but I'll go back and look. I'll go back and look. Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure. So yeah, so one thing I noticed that you were doing this past year was a Monday night live show, streaming show on Facebook, and you're still doing it. How has that changed for you with everything that's happened? What has that brought to you this past year?
It's been one of the highlights of the past year, I have to say. We started it out of, I guess, kind of necessity. Right in the beginning, we jumped on the bandwagon really quick, and we purposely picked Mondays because we felt like Mondays have always sucked. And when we were on the road, Monday's always the day we take off because people don't want to go out Monday. There's not a lot going on Monday. So our whole thing was like, let's make Mondays better. Let's take back Monday night. People are usually home. There's not a lot to compete with. And I think doing it Mondays has worked in our favor. But yeah, when we started it, I had no idea what it was going to grow into. I don't think we could stop even if we wanted to at this point. We have this great, dedicated core group of fans that tune in every single week. Of course, there's always new people coming in and everybody's welcome. But the folks have dubbed themselves the Monday Nights, like Monday KNIGHTS. And
I love it.
A separate Facebook group called that. And again, anybody can join. That's called the Monday Nights Fans and Friends of Lara Hope and the Art Tones. We made all these designs. We did a Joan of Arc with the red glasses called the Tone of Arc for the Monday Nights. And it's really it's given us a way to make this connection with a lot of our fans that we never would have made before, because it's one thing. Well, if you're just seeing people at a live show, there might only be once a year that we make it to Dallas, let's say. So I'm only going to have a chance to connect with this person in Dallas once a year, but we're doing this live stream show every week, and we've got the chat going. And I'm reading the chat in between songs, talking to the people. So I think we've made real connections with people all over the country and all over the world. There's a guy that tunes in every week from Italy, people from Argentina, people from Brazil, from Germany. And there's this one woman who has watched, every week. She lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan. She first saw us playing with Red Horton Heat, and now she's planning on driving here from Michigan to come to our album release party in a couple weeks. And it's because we've made this bond through the Monday night shows.
Yeah, I love them. I tune in as much as I can. I try to catch them, and I always share them on my radio show page on Facebook, so I can let all of our listeners know you're doing that. So hopefully we're helping you spread the word on that. Absolutely. I love you. I'm serious. I'm like, I wish you lived closer because I would be over there all the time like, hey, it's me. Are you home?
Well, hey, girl, whenever you come to New York, please feel free to reach out.
Oh my gosh, I will. And same for you here in Memphis. I would love for you to come and do some stuff. You know, Dale Watson, we were speaking about him earlier. He has Hernando's Hideaway here, and him and Celine now live here pretty much, you know, when they're not on the road. And it's a great place. You'll have to come and play it because it's so cool in the history of that place.
I would love to see it. I have yet to go there.
Oh my gosh, you will love it. You will love it. I've got another song of yours that's another favorite of mine that I would like to play the video of. It's called Whiskey Pick. Is there any little back history of that song before we play it?
Sure, yeah. So the joke, it's kind of, you know, the double entendre of Whiskey Pick is like, you know, it's kind of a take on Whiskey Dick, but it's about what happens when you get too drunk to play your guitar, you get Whiskey Pick. You know, some people think they can play all night, and you know, it all started. I remember I was playing an open mic night, and I had had a few, and I would take a shot of whiskey, and I had spilled it on my hand, and spilled it on my pick, and I was like, Whiskey Pick, and then I wrote that down as an idea and it was like took 3 years before I ever got to write that song, but that like became kind of a favorite pretty early on in the Art Tones career, and that music video, we filmed it on a Monday night. And prior to the live streams, so many people that were in the video said, that was the most fun Monday night I ever had. And those cops in the video, those were the real Kingston cops. Those weren't guys in costumes. I had to talk to the mayor on the phone and get permission to have them come. And they were so cool. They chased us around, and they did a great job. So that was really fun. And that was filmed at our local brewery, Keegan Ales, right here in Kingston.
Oh my gosh. Well, great shout out for them too. I'd like to play that right now. The song's called Whiskey Pick. Y'all are going to love the video. Take a look at this.
All night
I love that video. Do you know who the guy was that was the rabbit? Was that planned or was that just totally random?
Yep, that was our friend Ronnie. He was great. We've joked about bringing the rabbit back for like another cameo in another music video, maybe one day.
You should. You totally should. I love that.
I just want to say real quick that guy that was counting the money and smoking the cigarette upstairs, that's Tommy Keegan, the owner of Keegan Ales, and he actually just passed away a few weeks ago. So I just want to give a shout out to his memory, and he let us do so much cool stuff there, and it's just our whole community is like really feeling his loss. He was a really important staple of the community.
I'd seen where he passed away, where you posted that, but I didn't put two and two together. That's who that was in the video. And that was great that y'all have such a great close relationship with not just him, but the whole community there, it looks like. So you're very well established and you've got a great following, not just there, but everywhere.
Not good enough. We're working to make it better.
Well, I'll tell you what, for having won the Ameripolitan Best Female Rockabilly Artist Award, you've also were named Best Up and Coming Band by New York's Hudson Valley Magazine, which, I mean, your local community, I mean, it seems like they really support you and are behind you 100%.
I am fortunate. Yeah, I've lived here like I said, I moved here for college, and I just kind of felt like this was a good place for me. And I've just tried to be really active in the community. I've always done a lot of fundraising events, both playing for them and producing them. Last year was cool. I won the City of Kingston's Distinguished Artist Award, and we got to do, I got to get an award from the mayor, and it was supposed to be this big elaborate, party, but it was during COVID. So we had to do it like super scaled down, but it was virtual. Yeah. It was at City Hall, and it was fun. This was a very interesting award that they gave me. It was a glass bowl that says the City of Kingston Distinguished Artist.
Oh,
I can't hang it on the wall, but I put my fruit in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lara, I'm sorry I told you that Southern accent's going to get me every time. Lara, I know I could talk to you all day long. We are running so short on time. Tell everybody real quick where they can find you online and on Facebook.
Yes, it's Lara Hope, LARAHOPE.net is our website, and you can, see our videos, get our merch, all that stuff, find out about our shows, which are starting to come back. We'll be at Viva Las Vegas in September. We'll be at the Rockabilly Q Festival down in Florida in February. Lots of regional and local stuff in the meantime. Our Facebook is Lara Hope and the Arctones. But yeah, the easiest thing, go to the website, larahope.net. That's LARAHOPE, and you can get to all the socials from right there.
Oh my gosh. Well, you and I are going to have to schedule some time after this to talk and catch up on even more, because I'd love to learn more and get more of your songs for the radio show. And you guys, I just thank you so much, Lara, for being on the show today. That means so much to me.
Thank you, Kimber. It's been a pleasure, really. It's nice to see your face and chat. And thank you all for tuning in, and congratulations on your new show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And y'all go check her out on social media. And of course, you can always hear her music and more on Walking in Memphis with Kimber on Speedway Radio. This is Kimber and Lara Hope from New York saying thank you so much for tuning in today. Go out and make great things happen.
Thank you, my friend.